Part 72. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 711. Did you hear that, Xiao Lu? Xiao Xian said to Xiao Lu. Xiao Lu was not so enthusiastic about Xiao Xian's suggestion. He just called out softly, seeming a little dissatisfied. Hey. I do know that you are an ancient divine beast with noble blood and a proud heart. But even so, you have to know the current situation, right? If nothing else, with our current strength, we can't defeat a powerful sect, right? Xiao Xian persuaded patiently. He has seen some ancient beasts. These guys are extremely powerful when they grow up, and it is precisely because of this that they have very arrogant personalities. Moreover, this guy still has such precious blood. Naturally, it has attracted the attention of many human cultivators. Once an ancient divine beast is born, large sects will take the initiative to search for and capture it. Ancient divine beasts cannot be tolerated casually, the system reminded him without losing any time. That's true. But, this is all we can do now. If nothing else, there are so many large sects in the Qinglian Valley. Can we be so powerful? Xiao Xian couldn't help but said. The system seemed to be very dissatisfied with his answer. At this moment, the host is now at the high level of the spiritual god realm, and with the bonus of the essence and blood of the ancient beasts, is it still impossible to deal with these people? Really, Xiao Xian was really surprised. Of course. This system is fair and impartial and will never deceive the host. The system hesitated for a moment and continued, also, the host should be careful. This lake bottom may attract other dangers. Danger. For danger. Xiao Xian was not surprised. Before entering Qinglian Valley, he knew that there must be various dangers here. This is almost certain. However, it was worthy of a special reminder from the system, which somewhat surprised Xiao Xian. Boom. Boom. Just when Xiao Xian was secretly vigilant. Suddenly there was a turbulent sound above the lake. Who? With a thought in his mind, Xiao Xian quickly received Xiao Lu into the space magic weapon, and then used the yin and yang stealth technique to sneak out of the water. I saw two groups of people hurriedly arriving near the lake not far away. They were surrounding the dead azure light dragon lake beast, pointing and not knowing what to say. For safety reasons, Xiao Xian did not act rashly. He knew that his status was not that great now. From a certain perspective, he was considered an abandoned person by Qinghua College. In the Qinghua Valley. Except for Wu Meng from Qinghua Academy, I'm afraid no one really regards him as a friend or ally. Moreover, he also has a magical beast like Xiao Lu. If you think about it, he still has some attractive treasures. On the other hand, this can be regarded as one of his confidence. Commander Wei. You mean, you met a mysterious person? He stole the demon elixir from this green light dragon lake beast. Bai Feng looked at Wei Qinglan with interest, with a bit of amusement on his face. He has been in a good mood recently. On the one hand, he completed his master Bai Sheng's mission and forced Xiao Xian to death in the Qinglian Valley, which was considered to have completed what was on his mind. On the other hand, he met Wei Qinglan, his former friend. Although people from various factions are competitors in the Qinglian Valley, Bai Feng doesn't have much feelings for Wei Qinglan. The reason is simple. Wei Qinglan's strength is far weaker than him. From this perspective, the trial team that Kanglong Academy participated in was no threat to him at all. Plus the relationship with Wei Qinglan when she was a child. In Bai Feng's eyes, Wei Qinglan is just a little brother who can run around at will. Only one person scared away your entire Kanglong Empire trial team. Wang Rolong looked sideways at Wei Qinglan with a sneer on his lips. We have just experienced an attack by the savage tribe and were seriously injured. Even Commander Wei used his secret technique, so we were defeated, a disciple of the Kanglong Empire said. I see. Seeing that Wei Qinglan's face looked ugly, Bai Feng also smiled slightly, and then said, "But don't worry, Commander Wei and I have been brothers since childhood. Since this matter has happened to me, our Qinghua Academy will naturally not ignore it. Moreover, judging from the current situation, there is no benefit in helping Wei Qinglan." Whizzing. At this time, our Kanglong Empire suffered heavy losses in the attack of the savage tribe this time. Next, we hope to get the blessing of Qinghua Academy. Good. It seems like there are still some issues with the situation. However, although this Jingguang Dragon Lake beast does not have the demon elixir, the bones on its body are still valuable. If you take some off, you can also make armor and weapons. Our Qinghua Academy will give these to you, Bai Feng said with a smile. But thank you, brother. After he said these words, Wei Qinglan was naturally grateful. What's going on? Wei Qinglan's face was somewhat embarrassed. Then, thank you. Ho ho ho. Bai Feng nodded slightly, with a bit of disdain on his lips. In that case, it's good for both of us to cooperate. Suddenly there was another shower of arrows in the distant sky. The Kanglong Empire's strength was just that, and Wei Qinglan knew what the situation was like without having to tell him. After all, he was the one who brought the corpse of the Azure Light Dragon Lake beast here, and he was the one who discovered it first. But now, judging from Bai Feng's words, it seems like this is a favor given to him. Whizzing. Senior brother Bai, the demon elixir and essence in this Azure Light Dragon Lake beast are gone, leaving only some bones and essence. Although the Kanglong Empire is not strong, having more people is a good thing for their Qinghua Academy. In a place like Qinglian Valley, it is not a good thing to be easily involved in a dispute. The disciples at Qinghua Academy looked somewhat unkind. But compared to Wei Qinglan's happiness. Thank you, brother Bai. There is a huge wound on the green light dragon lake beast. Wei Qinglan said, to be honest, when we encountered this green light dragon lake beast, he was seriously injured. Bai Feng smiled. I see. Soon, a disciple came over to report on the situation of the green light dragon lake beast. Wei Qinglan's face also turned a little dark, and she said bravely, Brother Bai just needs to give us some leftovers from now on. After hearing these words, accompanied by the roar of the savages, fierce savages rushed out of the jungle and directly surrounded the disciples of the two academies. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 712. But Xiao Xian noticed. This time, the savages were different from those who besieged Wei Qinglan last time. They were all wearing simple armor, and the weapons in their hands were much more sophisticated than last time. There is also a savage leader who is obviously taller than the others. The savage leader had a big beard, dark skin, and no hair on his round head. The tendon meat all over looks very fierce. His eyes the size of soybeans were shining brightly, and he raised an iron rod slightly in his hand with a look of contempt on his face. Although there is a language barrier, but anyone with a discerning eye can see that these savages have bad intentions. These are the savages who besieged you. Bai Feng didn't even look at the ordinary savages, but when he saw the leader of the savages, his face changed. No. It's not them, but it's similar to them. Wei Qinglan's face changed slightly. I guess they are here for revenge. Revenge? That's quite courageous. Do you really think they can do whatever they want in this Qinglian Valley? Bai Feng narrowed his eyes. Don't worry, our Qinghua Academy is here today, these savages can't do anything to you. Ho ho ho. Roar. This group of savages obviously had no intention of letting these people go, and they surrounded them one after another. The leader of the wildlings roared angrily. With the iron rod in hand, he hit Wei Qinglan in the face. Dare you? An angry look appeared on Bai Feng's face. He unsheathed a long sword in his hand and blocked it directly in front of Wei Qinglan. Do you really think there is no one in our Qinghua Academy? Boom! The iron rod and the iron sword collided heavily. Afterwards, the savage leader just swayed, but Bai Feng was shocked and took more than 10 steps back. For a moment, everyone present was stunned. You know, this Bai Feng is an inner disciple of Qinghua Academy, ranking among the top 10 among the disciples of the entire Strengthening Academy. Such strength! He actually suffered a big loss against the savage leader. This was indeed something that shocked them. Doesn't this mean that among the people present, no one was a one-on-one opponent for the savage leader? Senior brother Bai Feng, are you okay? Wang Rolong and others were also surprised. Fine. A little careless. I didn't expect this savage to be so powerful. Bai Feng sneered and pushed away the disciple next to him. This guy is just a guy with brute strength, nothing special. Let's see if I can make him surrender with a little bit of tricks. Yes, if brother and sister Bai Feng are willing to take action, they can manipulate the savage at will. That's right, this guy doesn't have much ability. Don't you believe that if we join forces, we can't deal with these little savages? The trial disciples of Qinghua Academy are not very old. Seeing some people with no power at all, they were naturally confident, as if they could take care of these savages with just one move. On the other hand, the people from the Kanglong Empire who had fought against these savages all had extremely solemn expressions on their faces. I experienced the last fight with the savages. They knew that these savages were not that weak. Roar! One move failed to take down Bai Feng. The savage leader was also full of anger, and once again he rushed over with a stick in his hand, the iron rod in his hand dancing into a mess of silver. It seemed as if even the space was about to be shattered. Spirit fish swordsmanship. Bai Feng was not to be outdone. The long sword in his hand also slid slightly, and the body and the long sword seemed to be one body. He easily bypassed the iron rod of the savage tribe and stabbed directly towards the back of the savage tribe. Buzz! The sword let out a cry. Then he came into close contact with the back of the savage tribe. Just when Bai Feng was secretly happy, the next second, his face was shocked. He found that the sharp sword did not penetrate the savage's back. Instead, the sword was bent. What's the situation? What a powerful body. Bai Feng was a little stagnant for a moment, but the savage leader obviously didn't give him a chance to react and punched him directly in the chest. A mouthful of blood spurted out. Bai Feng fell directly to the ground, his face pale. Defeated with one move? The people present were stunned for a moment. Originally, when they saw Bai Feng using Taoism, they thought Bai Feng could easily defeat the savage. But what I didn't expect was, just after Bai Feng relaxed a little, the savage leader turned defeat into victory. Hee. The savage leader let out a cold snort, raised the iron rod high, and was about to kill Bai Feng. Not good. Come together and save senior brother Bai Feng. Wei Qinglan was also stunned, and quickly called a group of disciples to step forward and try to save Bai Feng. But under such circumstances, the savage leader had no intention of giving in. The iron rod still hit Bai Feng's head. At the last moment, Wei Qinglan's eyes flashed and she avoided it with the disciples of the Kanglong Empire. He watched helplessly as Bai Feng was beaten to death with a stick. Wei Qinglan, what do you mean? You are so shameless. If our Qinghua Academy hadn't helped you, you would be nothing now. Extremely shameless. When a group of Qinghua Academy disciples saw this, they all reprimanded Wei Qinglan. But Wei Qinglan is different from these disciples. As the commander of the Kanglong Empire's imperial army, he also grew up in blood and fire. In the face of crisis. Not to mention Bai Feng, who looked down on him, even if his parents were here, he would not let him go easily. The damn thing. This savage leader is so strong, let's retreat. Wei Qinglan was not interested in these indifferent words. Seeing Bai Feng's defeat, he ran away with the disciples of the Kanglong Empire. Originally, the person the savage tribe was looking for was Wei Qinglan. But now, as soon as he ran away, the hatred of the savage tribe was instantly transferred to Qinghua Academy. This damn Wei Qinglan. If you become a coward at this time, I will never let them go. An old student said angrily. His name is Chen Long, and he was originally the oldest student in Qinghua College. Because Bai Feng was there, Bai Feng was always in charge of Qinghua College. But things are different now. When Bai Feng died, the Qinghua Academy team was naturally leaderless, and he became the leader of this group of Qinghua Academy disciples. Fight these savages. Avenge senior brother Bai Feng. We must not let these people go, otherwise, how will our Qinghua College's face be saved? A group of disciples are not afraid of tigers as newborn calves. Never mind. We old students are staying behind, you go first. Chen Long's face was livid. If my prediction is correct, the strength of this savage leader has at least reached the great perfection of the spiritual god realm. Together, we are no match for him. The green hills are still there, so you don't have to worry about running out of firewood. You guys leave quickly. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 713. There is indeed someone at the peak of the spiritual god realm. No, it should be even stronger than the peak of the spiritual god realm. Looking at the savage leader, Xiao Xian also secretly analyzed that Bai Feng was an inner disciple of Qinghua Academy, the true peak strength of the spiritual god realm. Under such circumstances, they were all killed by the savage leader with one move. From this perspective, the savage leader's strength is definitely stronger than Bai Feng. Where did the savage leader come from? There is no trace of Dao power leaking out of the body, as if the power of Dao has not been cultivated. This is really a strange thing. Xiao Xian couldn't help but wonder secretly. Judging from the appearance of these savages, it seems that they are the indigenous residents of the Qinglian Valley. If this is the case, then the horizontal skills they possess should also be cultivated in the Qinglian Valley. Is it possible that the rich Tao power of Qinglian Valley, in addition to nurturing these precious heavenly materials and earthly treasures, also has great benefits for cultivators? Let's go. We old students can't resist it for long. Just when Xiao Xian was thinking secretly, the people from the savage tribe have surrounded all the new and old students of Qinghua College. All of them looked fierce. Obviously, the people from Qinghua Academy and the people from the Kanglong Empire were considered to be in the same group, and they wanted to get rid of them quickly. This leader, our senior brother Bai Feng, is dead. The person who offended you before was from the Kanglong Empire and has nothing to do with us. If you are offended, I will apologize. I wonder if the leader can let us go. We at Tsinghua University would be very grateful. Although he roughly guessed that the people of the savage tribe could not understand what they said, Chen Long still stood up and persuaded them for a glimmer of hope. The end result is similar. As expected, the savage leader didn't care what Chen Long said. Then, he just shook his head slightly and rushed over again with the iron rod. Damn it! You guys leave quickly. Chen Long gritted his teeth. But when I looked back, I found that the freshmen behind me were still hesitating and said angrily, "Why are you still standing there? Let our death be more meaningful. We'll fight these savages," Wang Ralong roared angrily. "No, we are no match for this savage, let's go." Chen Meng was still relatively rational. After frowning, he turned around and left. "Let's go too." Wang Tai and Meng Xiaoli were equally reluctant to give up. But they also understood that even a master like Bai Feng died at the hands of the savage leader, and Chen Long probably wouldn't be able to hold on for long. With Wang Rolong's courage, it is better to seize the time. Don't let Chen Long's efforts be meaningless. The two of them took Long Ruoxiu and turned around to leave, but at this moment, Wang Rolong and Mu Xiaolong stood in front of him. Wang Rolong, Mu Xiaolong, what are you going to do? Long Ruoxiu looked angry. Are you people from Wu Meng's lineage so courageous? Looking at you, you don't even care about senior brother Chen Long and plan to run away directly. The two men stood here hand in hand. The intention was obvious, just to prevent them from leaving. Don't go too far, you two. Senior brother Chen Long has already said that the Green Hills left behind are not afraid of running out of firewood. Could it be that, you want senior brother Chen Long's efforts to be in vain? Wang Tai said angrily. Compared to Wang Tian, Meng Xiaoli's face was even more livid. Get away quickly, don't force me to take action. Take action. I'm afraid these two are no match for us. Wang Tai and Meng Xiaoli looked at each other with sarcasm on their faces. Hearing this, Wang Tai and Meng Xiaoli were stunned, but Long Ruoxiu frowned, looking puzzled. You know, these two people are just freshmen. Although one is from Wang Ao's lineage and the other is from Bai Sheng's lineage, they are both the main lineage of Qinghua College and have rich resources. But they are still freshmen after all. His strength is not even as good as Xiao Xian. Why should he go against people like Wang Tai and Meng Xiaoli? Isn't this just asking for death? What do you want to do? Time is life. At this time, the more time is wasted on Wang Rolong and Mu Xiaolong, the more dangerous they will be. For a while, Wang Tai and Meng Xiaoli looked at each other with anger on their faces. Do nothing. I just don't want you Wu Meng to leave so easily. Wang Rolong sneered, after all, Xiao Xian is too pushy, otherwise I wouldn't be so crazy. Sometimes, some things still depend on strength. If you don't have enough strength, what's the use of saying this? Wang Tai and Meng Xiaoli looked livid. Although you are the two more dazzling freshmen, you are still no match for us old students. They are naturally very confident about this matter. After all, the two of them are also relatively strong old students in Wu Meng's lineage, and they can enter the Qinglian Valley for trials, so they are naturally not ordinary people. You can't fight against an opponent like Bai Fengwei Qinglan. But dealing with a small Wang Rolong and Mu Xiaolong is still no problem. Excuse me. We don't have to fight you, we just need to hold you back. I think, if Xiao Xian knew that people of your lineage died at the hands of savages, he would be very sad. Wang Rolong smiled sadly. Don't you know that these savages are inhumane? Do you think that by leaving us alone, you can fight against these savages? Do you want to die in the hands of the savages? Wang Tai and Meng Xiaoli were a little puzzled. Of course not. But, would you be surprised if we recruited these savages? Wang Rolong looked ferocious. Why? He said this. Not only the three people from Wu Meng's lineage, but others in Qinghua College were also shocked and couldn't believe what he said. You know, these savages seem to be unreasonable and unreasonable people. No matter who provokes these things, there will probably be no good results in the end. Who knew that now, Wang Rolong would take the initiative to admit this? Is he really not afraid of death? Or are you brave enough to seek skin from a tiger? Wang Rolong, are you crazy? What good will it do to you to provoke these savage tribes? Moreover, if I remember correctly, you are still at the peak of the spiritual god realm, so you don't have the strength to provoke these savages, right? Wang Tai's face turned gloomy. If you have some irrelevant words, I think you'd better not say them. Of course I don't have the ability. But Xianming sect has it. The Xianming sect has said that this time in the Qinglian Valley, the Shillong sect, the Golden Blade sect, the Snow Wolf Valley, and our Qinghua Academy pose the greatest threat to them. Wang Rolong said, I just stepped in to help them. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 714. You actually rebelled against King Hua Academy. Wang Tai was stunned. Ha ha ha. How can there be someone as rotten as you in the world? Is there anyone who doesn't care about cultivation? Could it be that Xianming sect has given me more resources, so do I still have to stay in King Hua Academy? Wang Ralong looked disdainful. Besides, Xianming sect has promised me that as long as I gain enough strength, I will be given the status of an inner disciple of Xianming sect. My status is not lower than that of Bai Feng. An inner disciple can actually make you grovel like this. Could it be that the people in Xianming sect are all fools and don't know that a person who can even betray his own sect is worthy of trust? Long Ruoxiu's face was ashen and she said coldly, besides, you can't stop so many of us. Ha ha ha. The Xianming sect has already made arrangements, otherwise, do you think that all the Xianming qi was given to you for free? Wang Ralong sneered and took out a grey skull from the space magic weapon. This grey skeleton turned out to be a confinement weapon. As soon as it appeared, it enveloped the entire lakeside area and enveloped the entire trial disciples of King Hua Academy. Under such power, not to mention Long Ruoxiu and others, even Chen Long Wangtai felt the muscles and bones of his body turn grey, and grey auras were like ropes, controlling their bodies. That's this moment. The savage tribe launched an attack, and 5 or 6 trial disciples from King Hua Academy instantly fell to the ground, their faces as golden as paper, and they looked like they were dead. Damn thing! What's going on? Wang Ralong, what are you doing? I saw the disciples around me falling one by one. Chen Long's eyes were completely split. Sorry, senior brother Chen Long, I may not be a disciple of King Hua Academy in the future, however, this may not be that important. Wang Ralong shook his head. After all, you may not see that day. Under such power, how could they still survive? Most of them will be slaughtered by the savages. How can they take revenge then? Isn't it just a joke? Boom. The leader of the savage tribe relies on the strength of his muscles to fight. Not being affected by the skeleton magic weapon, this was the reason why he continued to kill. Soon, one after another force hit the King Hua Academy disciples. Immediately afterwards, hardly long, more than half of the disciples of King Hua Academy were killed or injured. This change happened suddenly, and even Xiao Xian in the dark did not expect that when he planned to appear, it was already too late. A group of King Hua Academy disciples were already lying in a pool of blood. Damn it! Hurry up and stop it! When he saw the iron rod of the savage leader pointing at Long Ruoxiu, Xiao Xian appeared directly, unsheathed the serious sword in his hand, and blocked the latter. Xiao Xian! Xiao Xian! After seeing Xiao Xian appear, in an instant, it also shocked many people in King Hua College. Xiao Xian, leave quickly. This savage leader is very powerful and has reached the great perfection of the spiritual god realm. You are no match for him, Long Ruoxiu said quickly. There is still some friendship, but in the face of absolute strength, if he does this, it is nothing more than sending death. Seeing Xiao Xian suddenly appear, Wang Ralong instead sneered. Is it possible that he thought he could defeat the savage leader with his passion? Damn it! Wang Ralong, hurry up and untie the skeleton magic weapon. Aren't you afraid that Dean Kanglong will punish you? Chen Long also discovered that Wang Ralong was the troublemaker. I don't know what benefits Xianming sect gave Wang Ralong. At this time, Wang Ralong was still sneering and didn't take these words to heart at all. Don't worry, you go first, I'll deal with this guy, Xiao Xian said in a deep voice. What? Are you kidding? Even Bai Feng was defeated by him. Why don't you leave quickly? Long Ruoxiu couldn't believe it. Xiao Xian, just be okay, let's go. Even if there is any danger, we old students will help you freshmen block it. Meng Xiaoli stopped in front of Xiao Xian and said seriously, "You are our lineage, even the most promising freshman in Qinghua College. You must escape." After saying that, she and Wang Tai looked at each other and were about to rush out together. "Wait. Please rest assured, brothers and sisters, I am confident that I can defeat them this time." Xiao Xian grabbed Meng Xiaoli's shoulders, and the power of the great Dao instantly appeared on his body, revealing his high-level strength in the spiritual god realm. However, the power of the great Dao in him is far more powerful than that of ordinary high-level spiritual gods. This, Xiao Xian is actually a high-level practitioner of the spiritual god realm. So, he just improved his level again. Wang Tai and Meng Xiaoli couldn't help but their eyes lit up. At the same time, their faces were full of surprise and shock. After all, for ordinary practitioners, it would take at least several years to go from the intermediate level of the spiritual god realm to the high level of the spiritual god realm. But now, it had been less than a month since Xiao Xian entered Qinglian College. How could he become a high-level spiritual god realm so easily? Is this definitely true? High level of spiritual god realm. This realm is pretty good. He can be considered a master in the Qinglian Valley, but senior brother Baifeng is at the pinnacle of the spiritual god realm. Wang Rolong was itching his teeth with hatred. If he hadn't spent all his energy on the skeleton magic weapon, he would have wanted to have a showdown with Xiao Xian now. "That's not right, senior brother Rolong. Your skeleton magic weapon seems to have no effect on Xiao Xian. He can't really defeat the savage leader, can he?" Mu Xiaolong felt a little guilty. "If this is the case, we will be in danger. Don't worry about this. No matter how powerful Xiao Xian is, he is just a high-level spiritual god realm. Even senior brother Baifeng failed at the hands of the savage leader. Is it possible that he, Xiao Xian, is so capable?" Wang Rolong also felt a little uneasy. But the next second, he discovered something unusual. He felt that something was wrong with this guy. He saw that Xiao Xian actually walked towards the savage leader. "What are you going to do? Is this guy really going to challenge the savage leader? Does he want to die?" The trial disciples of Qinghua Academy looked at each other with disbelief on their faces. To them, Xiao Xian's attitude was really a bit unbelievable. "Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors." Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 715. This guy is really tired of living. Really think that I can defeat the savage leader? Isn't this a joke? How can he, a small high-level spiritual god realm, have such ability? Yeah, it looks a little ridiculous. With such arrogance, do you really think that senior brother Baifeng is even stronger? Wang Rolong and Mu Xiaolong looked at each other with sarcasm. The people from Qinghua College also looked a little worried. However, they felt more guilty, and they were a little embarrassed. To be honest, when Baifeng drove away Xiao Xian, they did not say anything to stop him. It can be regarded as choosing to protect yourself wisely. But now, Xiao Xian didn't pay too much attention. Instead, he came out to protect them at this critical moment. Just Xiao Xian's attitude of not caring about past grudges. It's enough to shame them. What's the meaning? Could it be that Xiao Xian really wants to fight this savage leader? Can he be so strong? I didn't expect this new student to be so strong. It's unbelievable. Originally, the trial disciples of Qinghua Academy were already in despair. However, when they saw Xiao Xian and the savage leader fighting back and forth, everyone's face was somewhat shocked. After all, I really want to talk about it. These old and new students are basically talented in Qinghua College, otherwise they would not be qualified to enter Qinglian Valley. But even so, when they face the savage leader, they still feel a strong sense of powerlessness. For now, others may not care, but he can clearly feel that Xiao Xian's strength has improved rapidly. He is at a high level in the spiritual realm. It is different from other spiritual realms. Boom. Facing Xiao Xian, who suddenly appeared. The savage leader also looked at it secretly, somewhat shocked in his heart. Although they do not practice Dao power, compared to ordinary human cultivators, their ability to survive in the crisis-ridden Green Lotus Valley relies on their keen perception of danger. Standing in front of Xiao Xian, he could clearly feel that the threat of the person in front of him was much greater than that of Bai Feng just now. Especially the long sword at his waist. Even though he was far away, the extremely sharp sword Gang Feng still made him feel a little uneasy. The savage leader had not felt this feeling for a long time. Ho ho ho. Roar. But the simple-minded savage leader didn't have the mind to care, and rushed towards Xiao Xian again with the iron rod. Under great power. The iron rod was like a meteorite falling from the sky, hitting Xiao Xian's head directly. Seeing this scene, many trial disciples of King Hua Academy were shocked. They could see clearly that the speed of the barbarian leader's move was actually faster than the attack on Bai Feng just now. Many people could only see an after-image. What a speed! Is this the true speed of the savage leader? Wang Tai was surprised. But every second, he was shocked. He discovered that Xiao Xian's body disappeared like a ghost, and then appeared inexplicably behind the savage leader. The long sword in his hand glows with colorful auspicious light. It actually stabbed directly into the back of the savage leader. Blood flowed out instantly. So easy, Xiao Xian couldn't help but be a little surprised. He had seen the skills of this savage leader before, not to mention the level of the Blue God realm, but his physical strength and physique had definitely reached the peak of the spiritual God realm or even the great perfection. How could he be hurt so easily? Ho ho ho. Ho ho. However, the next second, Xiao Xian saw it. When the remaining savages saw that their leader was injured, their eyes became crazy and they moved directly towards Xiao Xian. Their eyes were full of hatred. But just when they took action, the savage leader waved his iron rod and directly blocked these men. Then, the savage leader looked at Xiao Xian as if he was seeing some treasure. Ignoring the injuries on his body, he continued to charge towards Xiao Xian while waving the iron rod. This fearless look was as if the injury just now was not on him. The impact of the iron rod and the long sword made a sound of metal and stone clashing from time to time, but what shocked the King Hua Academy disciples was that Xiao Xian actually fought neck and neck with the savage leader. Wang Tai was shocked. The iron rod is strong and the sword is soft. Amazing. In that case, let me show you my pure Yangwuji sword technique. Xiao Xian also nodded secretly. He had also predicted before that Chunyang sword Ju and Wuji sword art were both Xian-level Taoist techniques. From time to time, some injuries would be left on the savage leader. You know, for ordinary people, going from the beginning of the spiritual God realm to the peak of the spiritual God realm is a long process. If there is no great opportunity or sex treasure, the two merge. The constant dancing can also bring about bursts of strong wind. This really shocks Xiao Xian. Whoosh! With such a cultivation speed, it is still very enviable. The long sword is like a fish swimming in the sky. From this point of view, Xiao Xian is already much stronger than the dead Bai Feng. Incredible! I didn't expect you to have this ability. The savage leader was very powerful, but facing Xiao Xian who was using his skillfully, there was nothing he could do for a while. He often used a lot of strength, but in the end there was nothing he could do. It will take several years. It should also have the quality of the mysterious level, but now it seems that this technique should also have the quality of the small earth level. Boom boom boom. Even now, being able to have the upper hand in a fight with this savage leader who has reached the great perfection of the spiritual God realm is something that ordinary practitioners cannot do. He was able to accomplish this so casually. You know, he felt clearly just now that although the serious sword did not damage the internal organs of the savage leader, it caused the latter to bleed a lot. Xiao Xian sneered and waved the serious sword in his hand again, and a mysterious Taoist sword move surged. That's it? Could it be that his body has strengthened to this point? But this guy doesn't even care? Anyone with a discerning eye can see that Xiao Xian has the upper hand in this duel. As long as he keeps it up, he still has a good chance of winning. Xiao Xian can actually compete with this savage leader. This power should at least be at the peak of the spiritual god realm. For the power of Chunyangwuji swordsmanship. When I first met Xiao Xian, he was still a freshman at the beginning of the spiritual god realm. Who knew that now, he had grown into a person at the peak of the spiritual god realm? On the contrary, Xiao Xian's moves were precise and orderly. Even so, not everyone can get through it smoothly, but Xiao Xian is different. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 716. What's the situation? Looking at today's meaning, it seems that the host can easily defeat this savage leader. It's amazing. Now, the system in Xiao Xian's body also sighed. Obviously very satisfied with his performance. So, maybe he can really complete that mission. The fight lasted less than a stick of incense. The savage leader had many scars left by the serious sword. Xiao Xian knew that if he maintained this fighting rhythm, the savage leader would definitely be defeated, and in the end he would probably be manipulated at will. But he was too lazy to wait. The flying mark claw moved, and a sharp air-breaking claw wind appeared, directly pressing on the savage's bare head. With only a little force between the 5 fingers, the head can be crushed. Are you satisfied? Xiao Xian did not take action. He doesn't like killing, and he can actually understand the previous behavior of the savage tribe. After all, it was the various sects from the Mingzhou domain that came to the Qinglian Valley. It can be considered as an invasion of the territory of other people's savage tribes, and it is normal to cause resistance from others. More importantly, he is still not sure whether there are other forces behind the savage leader. If you kill your younger brother, come to your elder brother. He could kill a savage leader, but if a group came next, wouldn't this give him an even bigger headache? Xiao Xian believed it. Although they didn't understand each other in language, the savage leader should be able to understand what he meant based on his body movements. Roar. It seemed that he felt Xiao Xian's kindness. The savage leader, covered in blood, knelt on the ground with a plop, his face full of piety. Are you surrendering? Xiao Xian looked around and found that other savages in the savage tribe also imitated his leader's behavior and knelt on the ground. We won. Xiao Xian won. The savage leader was defeated. It's unbelievable. Moreover, looking at the appearance of these savage tribes, they seem to have surrendered to us. Xiao Xian is really impressive. The trial disciples of King Hua Academy looked at each other. All of them had shock on their faces. They simply couldn't believe that Xiao Xian, a mere freshman, could win so easily and even achieve such a good result. Junior brother Xiao Xian, it's all thanks to you this time. Chen Long was the first to rush forward, and he breathed a long sigh of relief when he saw the savage tribe surrounding him who had surrendered. This is what I should do. But, where are these 2 guys, Wang Rulong and Mu Xiaolong? Xiao Xian frowned slightly. Run away, they just saw junior brother Xiao Xian suppress the savage leader and run away secretly, Wang Tai said angrily. If it weren't for that skeleton magic weapon, I would definitely be able to catch him. A traitor actually appeared. What a shame. Chen Long gritted his teeth. Senior brother Bai Feng is gone now. All the disciples of King Hua Academy are listening. Anyone who sees those two wolf-hearted guys in the future will be killed without mercy. Yes. 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 4 other disciples of King Hua Academy. They also hated Wang Ralong and Mu Xiaolong. They also knew very well that if Xiao Xian hadn't shown his might and defeated the savage leader this time, they would all be in danger now. Then, I don't know how to proceed, Wang Tai suddenly asked. Now our King Hua Academy has suffered serious losses. I'm afraid that this trial will not be that simple. It's not that big of a deal. Don't we have help from these people? Instead, Xiao Xian smiled and pointed at the savage leader in front of him. If I think correctly, these people should not betray casually. Hear this. The people around me also looked a little embarrassed. They could also roughly hear some of the hidden meanings of Xiao Xian's words. Wasn't Xiao Xian just secretly talking about Wang Ralong and Mu Xiaolong? This is just the first time for these savage tribes to meet. They were all loyal to King Hua Academy, but disciples like Wang Ralong and Mu Xiaolong would actually betray them. Isn't this a ridiculous thing? It's really heartbreaking. At that time, I thought that Wang Ralong and Mu Xiaolong were the more talented people among the freshmen, so they would pay more attention to them. Who knew? How can such a situation exist? Chen Long's face was gloomy. It doesn't matter. Isn't he gone now? With their strength, if 2 people go alone, they will lose their lives soon, Long Ruoxiu said. That's not necessarily true. Didn't Xiao Xian just walk alone and get some adventures? Chen Meng said suddenly. This is just a joke. Is it possible that senior sister Chen Meng thinks that this kind of adventure can be obtained by anyone? Xiao Xian smiled. Yes, Xiao Xian, if I remember correctly, you went to investigate alone, and then disappeared. Chen Long looked a little embarrassed. I wonder if something happened to you. No, Xiao Xian shook his head. Then why did the strength increase so quickly? Could it be that you also encountered an adventure? Or opportunity? Chen Long asked tentatively. No chance. It's just that my physique seems to be good, and I can practice much faster here than outside. Xiao Xian thought for a while and said, it's just that I was walking in front alone when I met a green light dragon lake beast. I was chased everywhere by it. Finally, I found a cave and practiced in it for a while before I came out. This cave must be a romance. Chen Long's face was full of surprise. Do you still remember where this place is? Cannot remember. I was so dizzy when I was being chased that I could only think about escaping. How could I have time to remember this? Xiao Xian shook his head slightly. At the same time, he looked at Chen Long with a hint of amusement on his face. Joke. He had absorbed 3 full strands of Xianming Qi at the bottom of the lake. There is also the ancient stone tablet. Naturally, such things cannot be mentioned casually. Otherwise, who knows if Chen Long will be greedy? What's more, when he was forced to leave by Bai Feng, Chen Long didn't say a word. Now why should he tell Chen Long more about his opportunity? So this is However, it's good that you can come back safely. With you here, we at King Hua College will have some confidence. Chen Long's face turned slightly red. If you really want to say it, he is the real Lao Sheng. Regardless of the training time and training resources, he has more time than Xiao Xian. But now, his strength is not as good as the new student Xiao Xian. This made him look a little confused. If my guess is correct, now Wang Ralong and Mu Xiaolong should be looking for the Xianming section. Moreover, since they dare to take action in this place, they think the Xianming sect should be nearby. Xiao Xian said suddenly. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 717. Xianming sect. Hearing Xiao Xian's words, the faces of everyone present changed. They also all know that among the trial disciples who entered the Qinglian Valley from the Mingzhou realm this time, the Xianming sect is definitely the strongest. This is also the reason why Wang Rulong and Mu Xiaolong are willing to betray Qinghua Academy and join the Xianming sect. Now Qinghua College has been hit hard. If he meets the Xianming sect, it will probably be a disaster. Then, according to what you want, junior brother Xiaoxian, what should we do? Chen Long thought for a moment and asked in a deep voice. Yes, junior brother Xiaoxian can defeat the savage leader, so there should be a solution, right? Junior brother Xiaoxian, can you tell me what else you can do? We are all willing to listen to junior brother Xiaoxian. In fact, Xiaoxian just said it casually. Who knew that he would gain so much trust inexplicably? It was as if he was the leader of the trial disciples of Qinghua Academy. This really made him a little uncomfortable. After all, he is just a new student. Xiaoxian, if you have any ideas, you can tell me, maybe it can help everyone a lot. Wang Tai also took the initiative to say. Now you are a famous person in Qinghua College, Long Ruoxiu said with a smile. Strength is the basis for your existence. Meng Xiaoli also looked at Xiaoxian with interest. Your progress really surprised me. He, it's just good luck. Xiaoxian was a little embarrassed. Looking at the dark trial disciples of Qinghua Academy, he suddenly turned around and focused his attention on the savage leader. He had a feeling. In a place like Qinglian Valley, the average trialist may not really be able to play well. If he can have the help of the savage leader, might get twice the result with half the effort. Xiaoxian walked up to the savage leader, and a colorful light flashed in his hand, and then slowly flowed into the body of the savage leader. Afterwards, the injuries on the latter began to heal visibly to the naked eye. It takes less than one stick of incense. The savage leader fully recovered, and the wounds on his body were intact, not even a scar was left. This, junior brother Xiaoxian, what kind of adventure are you having? Xiaoxian's healing technique was clearly seen by Wang Tai beside him. SHH. Xiaoxian said quickly, it's better not to say more about this matter. The more people know about it, the more dangerous it will be. Oh. Senior brother knows. Wang Tai is an honest man, and he nodded quickly when he heard this. At the same time, after being treated by Xiaoxian, the savage leader also looked happy and stood up to look at his injuries. Thanks Xiaoxian for a while. Then, it seemed that he had made some decision, and he actually pointed fingers at Xiaoxian without knowing what he wanted to say. You want to take us somewhere? A lot of effort wasted. Xiao Suanke roughly understood what this guy meant, and seemed to want to introduce him to a place. Can we trust him? After all, they are all savages. They might lay traps for us. We were still enemies before. Yes. Before the dean came, he also said not to trust others casually. The trial disciples in Qinghua Academy were also a little hesitant. Do you have a better way? Seeing a group of people hesitating, Chen Long sneered, is it possible that you have other ideas? No. Junior brother Xiaoxian's words may be the best choice. After hesitating for a while, everyone nodded. However, for the sake of safety, Xiaoxian took the initiative to contact the system and asked, Brother System, what do you think of this matter? Can I trust this savage leader? He won't harm me, right? Won't. Although this savage doesn't know human language, he is a grateful person and will take you to a place of treasure. The system said. What the hell? Is this, something wrong with you? How do you know where the savage leader is taking us? Can you still read minds? Or maybe you already knew there was a good place nearby. Xiaoxian almost couldn't help but want to take out the map to see what good things were nearby, but in the end he resisted the idea. Map of Qinglian Valley. If this kind of thing is taken out, I'm afraid it will cause an uproar in an instant. Not to mention that this thing cannot be kept secret. Even if it can be kept secret, there is no guarantee that no one will be interested in it within Qinghua College. Alright. After a while, the system did not respond to Xiaoxian, and he understood that there was a high probability that the system did not want to say anything more. Although they didn't say much. After Wang Tai and Meng Xiaoli looked at each other, they both chose to believe Xiaoxian and followed behind. This can also be considered as stabilizing the morale of the army. If he can really get it, it will be a good thing for him. Seeing Xiaoxian and others leaving, after hesitating for a while, they also followed behind, looking expectant. A place of treasure. He will have enough decision-making power. Let's go. Xiaoxian turned around and asked Wang Tai and Meng Xiaoli for their opinions. After Xiaoxian's display of strength just now, he has established enough prestige in front of Wang Tai and Meng Xiaoli. That scene is as funny as it gets. I saw others still hesitating. A group of savages walked in front, followed by human cultivators. No one needs to say more. Wang Tai and Meng Xiaoli naturally understood what Xiaoxian meant. The remaining Qinghua Academy disciples. If you have other ideas, you can decide for yourself. Our Wu Meng lineage will go. After all, the system is just an assistant, and it is impossible for the system to help him do everything he does. In addition, it is also a good thing that he has friends such as Long Ruoxiu, Wang Tai, and Meng Xiaoli who can make them improve their strength. I also know you won't tell. In this case, he also wants to bring some benefits to Qinghua College. It's my first time letting a savage lead the way. I also want to see what good things there are. We all listen to you. You believe it, and so do I. Long Ruoxiu followed closely behind. Let's go. Moreover, these things are more important, and now he has become the leader of Qinghua Academy inexplicably. However, his goal of finding the system was still achieved. Since the system has said that the savage leader will not harm him, he is also interested in seeing where the savage leader can take him. For this behavior of the system, Xiaoxian can understand. I trust this savage brother. Xiaoxian had no intention of waiting for them. He turned to the people around him and said, "Go early and you will benefit early. Anyway, I want to believe that this savage brother will not lie to me." Within the Qinglian Valley. But judging from the expressions on their faces, it is obvious that they still trust Xiaoxian. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 718. Isn't our way of traveling a little too unreliable? I'm always a little uneasy letting the savages lead the way. What if these savages take revenge on us and deliberately lead us into a trap? The Qinglian Valley was already full of dangers. Not to mention anything else about this savage tribe, at least they are natives of the Qinglian Valley, and they naturally understand the situation in this place. Under such circumstances, naturally, some people will also worry about safety issues. No need to say more. Junior brother Xiaoxian ran away from the Qinglian Valley alone at that time. Not only did he return safely, he even got a lot of opportunities. Now that there are so many of us, and there are savages leading the way, are you still afraid? If this is really the case, you are not worthy of coming to Qinglian Valley. Qianlong stood up and said to the group of people in front of him. Say it. Everyone present fell silent. Indeed, as Qianlong said, as a cultivator, since you have come to Qinglian Valley, you must be mentally prepared to experience all kinds of troubles and dangers. After all, they are here to seek opportunity. If you don't have a brave heart to challenge, there won't be many good results in the end. Dawdle. There is no progress. Practicing a skill is like sailing against the current. If you don't advance, you will retreat. If you want to become a cultivator who stands at the top, you will naturally have to pay a price that ordinary people cannot pay. Yes. Senior brother Qianlong is right, we still have to work hard. Then let's follow junior brother Xiaoxian and give it a try. Maybe we can also have a chance. Qianlong has spoken. A group of disciples also discussed one after another, obviously agreeing with Xiao Xian's words. Regarding these people, Xiao Xian shook his head. After such a long time, he could feel that even though Qinghua Academy came this time, they were all elite disciples. But even so, the strength of these elite disciples also varies greatly. Some are determined and confident and willing to meet various challenges, some are timid and fearful before they see much danger. Under such circumstances, naturally, there will be practitioners of all kinds, high and low. In this case, have you all decided to follow us? Xiao Xian turned around, glanced at these disciples, and said, to be honest, there are various dangers in Qinglian Valley, and some dangers may even threaten everyone's lives. Have you thought about it? What he said can also be considered as an early vaccination. After all, if you really want to talk about it, most of these disciples are young and do not have as much experience as him. Many people even saw life and death for the first time. By then, if you reach the so-called treasure land, I'm afraid there will be more dangers and troubles. Junior brother Xiao Xian, please rest assured. We are not children anymore. Since we have decided to go with you, junior brother, if we encounter danger, we will also take action to solve it. Yes, our Qinghua Academy disciples are not all useless. A group of people were talking about it. They all looked very confident. That's good. In this case, maybe our Qinghua College can really benefit from this experience. Xiao Xian nodded slightly. He did not comment on what these disciples said. His attitude naturally attracted the attention of Long Ruoxiu next to him. Long Ruoxiu found an opportunity, walked to Xiao Xian, and asked in a low voice, "Why do I look at you? You don't seem to trust these people? No normal person would believe them. But I can feel that after they experienced this incident, they still have some changes, such as..." Long Ruoxiu wanted to explain something. However, when she turned around and saw that the disciples of Qinghua Academy were all trembling with fear, she was a little speechless. You know, just now Xiao Xian had defeated the leader of the savage tribe. Since some of the words were said by me, it is naturally impossible for me to go back on my word. Senior brother Chen Long can rest assured. It doesn't matter. Xiao Xian looked thoughtfully at the trial disciples of Qinglian Academy. Thinking of this, Xiao Xian took the initiative to find Chen Long. You know, these savage tribes were all defeated by Xiao Xian, and there is a high probability that they will only listen to Xiao Xian's words. Xiao Xian seemed to see Chen Long's worry and continued, "As long as Chen Meng and 3 people from our lineage are fine. But after experiencing the last siege by the savage tribe, now there is another important question. It's natural. As long as there is desire in the heart, there will be motivation. As long as motivation overcomes fear, then these people will take the initiative to challenge future difficulties." Senior brother Chen Long, I have a small suggestion, Xiao Xian said with a smile. How about we divide our troops into 2 groups, you lead one, and I will lead the other, and look for the treasure place together. It was really hard for him to handle. It can be said that Qinghua College has taken the initiative in this exploration, but the students of Qinghua College still don't have much confidence. And this is exactly what Xiao Xian needs. They say the troops are divided into 2 groups, but actually I only need a few people. These new and old students are indeed not very trustworthy. The troops are divided into 2 groups. He could tell that at least Chen Meng, Long Ruoxiu, and some experienced old students had strong interest in their eyes. Chen Long frowned instead. As an old student, although he is not as strong as the new student Xiao Xian, he is also a veteran who has been in Qinghua College for many years, so it is not a problem to lead the team. It's a simple thing. Long Ruoxiu admitted helplessly, but then asked, "So what are you going to do under such circumstances? Are you just going to keep fooling around like this? I'm afraid the next thing won't be that simple, right?" He was still frightened. Just 5 people, there is strength in numbers. If there were more people on his side, Qianlong would not be so worried. Obviously they also have expectations for the so-called treasure place. Xiao Xian paused. It's just that after finding the treasure place, I want to ask, what are you going to do? After hearing Xiao Xian's suggestion, I can clearly feel that there are still some people who are interested in the treasure land. There is no need for the savage tribe to deceive us, and this savage leader does not dare to deceive me. He will definitely lead us to find the treasure. It seems you are right. Certainly. It's like being scared out of your wits by a tribe of savages. Xiao Xian smiled slightly. Just in case there is any trouble. Do you have the courage to fight? You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 719. Courage, of course you have. Qianlong had a little hesitation on his face. Although he said he was very confident, he didn't have such confidence in his heart. He can tell. This time, although there were many trial disciples from Qinghua Academy and their strength was not considered weak, these people did not have much social experience. On weekdays, they are all pampered and confident. It's really a matter of life and death. I'm afraid that his performance will not be much better than that of ordinary people, or even worse than that of ordinary disciples who have rich social experience. This is also what Qianlong is most worried about. How? Doesn't even senior brother Qianlong have confidence? After seeing Qianlong's appearance, Xiao Xian frowned slightly and said with a smile, if I remember correctly, senior brother Qianlong is also a talented senior brother in our Qinghua Academy. Why doesn't it seem like that now? Are you confident? If I were alone, I would have some confidence. However, there are so many disciples in Qinghua Academy. If you want to inspire all their confidence, I'm afraid it won't be that simple in the end. Qianlong explained helplessly. Xiao Xian was not surprised by Qianlong's response. Before entering the Qinglian Valley, he also took it for granted that Qinghua Academy had strong troops and horses and should be regarded as the #1 force in the Qinglian Valley. But now it seems. This does not appear to be the case. Although they would not be bullied by any force in the Qinglian Valley, their combat abilities were indeed not very good. Even a small savage tribe couldn't deal with it, and even caused Bai Feng to die tragically. Such fighting ability. If you encounter other forces, I'm afraid it will be more dangerous and even cause a series of troubles in the end. Then let's follow your suggestion, junior brother Xiao Xian. Qianlong also heard it. Although Xiao Xian didn't say it explicitly, he already had an understanding of the strength of Qinghua Academy. So much the better. We are about to enter the treasure land. I believe there will be a lot of trouble after entering. Xiao Xian hesitated for a moment and said, what you have to do then is to protect yourself as much as possible. After we solve other troubles, you can enjoy the next cultivation resources. Good. Qianlong's face turned red. He could hear the underlying meaning of Xiao Xian's words. But when he thought about it, he, as an old student, and a group of old students who had been in Qinghua College for many years, had to hide behind a new student, waiting for the new student to solve all kinds of troubles before getting the final results. This was enough to make him feel ashamed. More importantly, anyone with a discerning eye can now see that his current status as the leader of Qinghua Academy is completely worth mentioning. Since senior brother Qianlong can agree, it is naturally the best choice. Xiao Xian nodded. Seeing that Qianlong seemed a little ashamed on his face, he still smiled and said, senior brother Qianlong doesn't need to feel pressure. We are all disciples of Qinghua College. Sometimes, we have our own division of labor when we work together. If senior brother Chen can help lead these old students, isn't it also helping to solve the problem? Yes, it's just that our senior students at Kinghua College do lack experience. I will take the initiative to tell the dean about this in the future. This is naturally the best. I heard Chen Long agree. A stone fell to the ground in Xiao Xian's heart. Although, in terms of strength, he is definitely stronger than most old students, he still lacks qualifications. If Chen Long is willing to help control these people, he seemed to be able to relax a bit too. So to say, the host seems to have other ideas. Just after Xiao Xian and Chen Long finished talking, the system's voice rang again. Could it be that the host plans to monopolize a treasure land? Ahem. Brother host, you can't say that. Although I, Xiao Xian, am greedy, I won't do everything for myself. Judging from the current situation, I don't seem to be able to do it all for myself, right? Xiao Xian said with a smile. Besides, according to my estimation, Chen Long and the others cannot save themselves. Even if they are given some resources, they may not be able to save it. That's quite right. However, I don't know how the host plans to operate it. With so many people, it's probably not that simple to deal with it all at once, right? For the first time, the system felt that Xiao Xian had a bit of a kingly spirit. For this problem of the system, Xiao Xian did not answer directly. Instead, he drew some small conclusions from the system's questions. He can feel it. In any case, the system is a big help to him. No matter what he does, the system can easily understand his needs. However, if you really follow what the system says, it was a big plan to get rid of all the trial disciples of Kinghua Academy, but he didn't have such courage. However, if it is possible not to deal with these people, it also prevents them from competing for cultivation resources, so this is naturally the best choice. From this perspective, he may have to think carefully about how to get the best of both worlds. Crisis. Perhaps a crisis is the best solution. The system reminded again. Hearing this, Xiao Xian couldn't help being stunned. In his impression, the system generally did not proactively remind these plans. But today seems a little different. Not only did the system give so many tips, it even came up with its own suggestions. Is his idea also a systematic idea? The system also intends to help him in this matter? Hey. I wonder what the crisis that System Brother is talking about is. Does System Brother have a better way? Xiao Xian thought about it over and over again. In the end, he couldn't figure out how to solve this matter. He simply asked the system directly. He could feel that the system might be able to give him advice on this matter. It's quite simple. There are all kinds of dangers in the treasure land. As the host said, only those with the ability can obtain the treasures of nature and earth. The system explained, if they don't have the ability to get the treasure themselves, then they can't blame others. Having said that, Xiao Xian was also stunned and couldn't help but nodded secretly. If you want to say that you are experienced, you should be an experienced system expert. He has been thinking about how to deal with the disciples of Kinghua Academy. Don't you know that he can use the dangers of the treasure land to deal with most of the disciples of Kinghua Academy without taking action himself? This is justified. Think about it. Xiao Xian also found that there were almost no loopholes in this plan. The only question is whether he can solve the danger in the treasure land by himself. If by then, after encountering danger in the treasure land, even he himself can't solve it, wouldn't it be a waste of effort in the end? Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 720. Follow the savage leader all the way. Xiao Xian and others discovered a river valley in front of them. Here, he could see the roar of wild beasts coming from the river valley from time to time. Break the silence on this side. This is the place of treasure, Xiao Xian couldn't help but ask the savage leader. Ho ho ho! Although the savage leader couldn't speak, judging from his body movements, he wanted Xiao Xian and others to enter this river valley. So, there's a treasure inside. Xiao Xian turned around and said to Chen Long with a solemn expression, "Senior brother Chen, although it is almost certain that there must be treasures inside, there must be danger in it. It's natural. Since you want to get the treasure, you must go through danger. Basically everyone knows this." After hearing what Xiao Xian said, Chen Long naturally nodded one after another. If you want to get the treasure, you must solve enough dangers. Xiao Xian need not say this, Chen Long himself knows it well. But now after hearing Xiao Xian say it again, instead, he felt a little worried. After all, he had watched before his eyes as the leader of the savage tribe killed Bai Feng with one move. If we encounter such a powerful opponent again in this treasure land, I'm afraid that he himself can't deal with it. They even ask Xiao Xian, a junior freshman, to help solve the problem. These things are not just as simple as they appear on the surface, but require him to sacrifice his face and plead with his own face. Let's go. Xiao Xian turned around, led the disciples of Wu Meng's lineage to Chen Meng, and said with a smile, "Senior sister Chen Meng, we are about to enter the treasure land. Do you have any ideas? What do you think?" Since his defeat at Xiao Xian's hands last time, Chen Meng felt a little grudge against him. Although this treasure land has many treasures, but if you want to get the most precious thing among them, I'm afraid you have to make some efforts that ordinary people don't have, right? Xiao Xian took the initiative and said, "I wonder if senior sister Chen is willing to enter the treasure land with junior brother and me." After listening to Xiao Xian's words, Chen Meng couldn't help but look at the former carefully and asked, "So, you want to lead people into the treasure land in advance?" "Not bad," Xiao Xian nodded. "Then, why did you find me?" Chen Meng's eyes flickered, as if there was something he didn't want to say. "As the most talented disciple of Lu Lianyi's lineage. You can even ask senior uncle Lu Lianyi to find a way to send her to Qinglian Valley for trial. I think senior sister Chen Meng is also a very capable person." Xiao Xian laughed and said, "So junior brother, I think it will be beneficial and harmless to take senior sister Chen Meng with you. You just trust me so much. If I remember correctly, I was defeated by you in the last battle among the freshmen." Such a light compliment for Xiao Xian. Chen Meng did not accept it directly, but asked instead. In fact, Xiao Xian had already expected this. He knew that although Chen Meng was a new student, his ambition and ability were no less than those of ordinary senior students. This trip to Qinglian Valley. Each branch of Qinghua Academy sent their best disciples here. If Chen Meng could become the person Lu Lianyi spent all his resources to force his way in, he must be extremely talented and possess a strong trump card. This was a joke by senior sister Chen Meng. Now it seems that the battle between the freshmen at that time was more like a joke. It doesn't count. Xiao Xian shook his head. You know, the savage leader just now was at least at the level of the spiritual god realm. Is it possible that you think that with our power, we can capture the most precious part of the treasure? Xiao Xian said confidently, if this savage leader is really not smart, then his life may be lost. This is where he is inferior to me. Xiao Xian smiled. Chen Mengjai's face became a little more solemn. Chen Meng looked serious instead. Then senior sister Chen Meng must work hard. Long Ruoxiu said sourly from the side, the opportunities in this world must be obtained by one's own ability. Xiao Xian was somewhat satisfied with that achievement at that time, but now, when he has become a high-level cultivator in the spiritual god realm, he knows how big the gap between cultivators is. You look very confident. No, if you lose, you lose. Yes, Chen Meng's answer was straightforward. After seeing a few people on Xiao Xian's side. So, are you willing to follow me to the treasure land? Xiao Xian continued to ask. And what you have to understand is that it's impossible for anyone to play with their own life. He knew that with the addition of Chen Meng, their side's strength would be greatly enhanced. He was confident enough that their team could become the strongest force in the treasure land. Hear this. However, now I don't know where your confidence comes from. Would you deceive someone who is stronger than yourself? She didn't expect that Xiaoxian, a smiling person, could have such powerful methods. Although I don't know how to use Taoism, I want to get more opportunities. Only in this way can I surpass you. Before Xiaoxian could say the next sentence, Chen Meng looked at Xiaoxian with burning eyes. Chen Meng frowned slightly. You know, even if Bai Feng is here, he would not dare to lead so many people into the treasure land. After Chen Meng came to Xiaoxian, he also said, since we already know the treasure place and know that there is danger inside, isn't the first choice to avoid it? But if we avoid it, we won't be able to really get the treasure. Xiaoxian shook his head. With Chen Meng joining. Chen Meng nodded, then turned around and said a word to his senior sister, then turned around and followed Xiaoxian. It can be said that he now can defeat 5 or 6 of him at that time. Xiaoxian also felt relieved a lot. But his strength is not weak within the Qinglian Valley. But if I remember correctly, although you defeated the savage leader, you can't communicate with the savage leader. Aren't you afraid that the savage leader will trick you? Chen Meng was still a little confused. Who knew that according to Xiaoxian's wishes, he would be so capable that he could directly control the life of the savage leader. During the Battle of New Life, he was only an intermediate practitioner in the spiritual realm. At that time, he relied on the power of the formation to successfully defeat the blood demon formation. Of course. Finally became the leader of the new students. I, Chen Meng, am not a loser. The number 1 freshman in our batch is you.